Hey everyone, so for today's video we are talking about the Sephora holiday savings event, a makeup lover's favorite time of year. So what I did today is I put together all of my recommendations for you guys. I will also leave timestamps down below for you guys because I just know that this is going to be a very long video. I would say about 80% of these products are staple products for me. So I really wanted to focus on the products that I absolutely adore, but I also have a few newer favorites as well. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to be sharing with you guys the products that I want to purchase. I hope it ends up being super helpful for you guys. And Sephora is also very kindly sponsoring today's video. If you are a Rouge member, the savings event has already started for you. If you are watching, the holiday savings event goes from November 5th all the way through the 15th for Rouge members. You can use the code YAYHOLIDAY. It is an unlimited use coupon. Now, if you are a VIB member, the savings event starts for you on the 9th and goes through the 15th. And it's the same code, YAYHOLIDAY, for 15% off your purchase. Again, also unlimited use both in-store and online. And for insiders, the savings event starts on the 11th and then goes through the 15th. Same code, and I will leave more details down below for you guys. If you haven't already signed up for the Sephora Insider program, I highly suggest that you all do. I will leave a sign up link down below, and I will also leave all of the items that I'm talking about linked down below for you all. You can shop the savings event using any of my links down below, and thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. Let's first start off with my #1 recommendation for a face primer. It is the oh so lovely Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Again, this is a staple item for me. It is one of my favorite primers ever, if not my favorite primer. The reason I really adore it and repurchase and always recommend it to you all is because it just offers such a beautiful buttery base for your makeup to apply onto. And I do think that, you know, you can use your normal moisturizer to prep the face, but there are some standout primers that I do think make a difference with makeup application, and this is one of those products for me. It hydrates and moisturizes the skin so that, you know, your skin feels plump and the makeup doesn't go crackly or cakey throughout the day. But it also has this sort of creamy, slightly whipped kind of souffle texture that actually smooths out the skin as well without this feeling like a silicone-rich primer. It's a very subtle kind of airbrush effect that I get from it. So of course the savings event is a good time to pick up something like this because it is more on the pricey side. And also I noticed that there is a gift set. You pretty much get 2 for the price of 1. So really, I think that's the way to go. So if you were wondering about this one, still an absolute favorite. Now, if you're someone that likes to prep your skin with a sunscreen product, this is also one of my favorite sunscreen items. It is the Supergoop Glowscreen SPF 40. It is a chemical sunscreen with avobenzone, octisalate, and octocrylene. I have to say that I also use this on days where I just don't want to wear makeup because it has a beautiful kind of pearly finish, and I do find that it very slightly kind of covers any redness that I have. So if I like need to be out the door, like I'm already late, this is often a product that I will reach for to just make myself feel a little bit more revived, super pretty and glowy. So this is another one that I would recommend. Now moving on into foundations, skin tints, all of that good stuff. I want to first start off with a holy grail item for me. It's what I'm wearing on my skin today, and I will also leave everything that I'm wearing on my face today linked down below. It is the Shiseido Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. Now, I have done an entire video comparing the Radiant Lifting to the original Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation from Shiseido. Both formulations I absolutely adore, but especially going into fall, winter, the Radiant Lifting is giving me a little bit extra moisture and just general radiance. So I have been absolutely adoring this. I have both the shades 140 and 130. 140 is a little bit more neutral. 130 is slightly more yellow. This is the most beautiful medium coverage foundation that blurs the skin, that refreshes itself throughout the day. So it's such a gorgeous long wear product. It's not going to crackle up. It's not going to separate. It's one of those foundations that as you continue to wear it, you can depend on it. And the look of your skin, it just makes your skin look so naturally perfected. It is a breeze to apply. Like, it wants to apply well to your skin every single time, which is another one of those aspects of a makeup product that I always look for. That consistency, I think, is what sets a product apart from the pack. If you deal with dullness on your skin, if you just feel like your skin is sallow, you want a really beautifully natural medium coverage, a very, very, very soft kind of airbrush effect, and a radiance that doesn't look overwhelmingly dewy. This is the best foundation that I have found for that. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I actually now slightly prefer this one to the original, only because I just like the extra moisture. That being said, this foundation, I often recommend it over and over because it's just so good for so many different skin types. I even know people with oily skin that absolutely love this. Again, it's one of those foundations that meshes well with your skin as you continue to wear it. This is going to be slightly more blurring than the Radiant version. Those are kind of the main differences that I see between this and the Radiant version. This just has a little bit more of an airbrush texture. It's a little bit more of a natural creamy finish rather than a natural radiant finish. The product is also slightly thicker, but neither of these are thick items. Neither of them feel heavy on the skin. If you want your makeup to last, if you want that elegant, natural look to your skin, you really, really cannot go wrong with these. When I need to know my makeup is going to look good, I am going for these foundations. Another one in the same vein is the Makeup Forever Reboot. I still firmly believe that this is such an underrated product. I just feel like more people should talk about this one. And the reason is that like, there are so many skin tint products, tinted moisturizers out on the market. And truthfully, skin tint foundation, a lot of this is just verbiage. And I just feel like if you're someone that wants a really beautiful light coverage product, this has to be, I think, the best one that I found. As far as light coverage, tinted moisturizers, foundations, whatever, this is definitely the best one that I have found. And the reason is, it is just the most beautiful skin-like finish that I've ever found. I always say that this is an elevated skin-like finish. It sits so close to the skin. It's very thin and watery, so I usually like to just apply it with my fingers and then blend it out with a brush or a sponge. It just looks like absolutely perfected skin. It doesn't translate to makeup on the skin. And again, with so many different products in this vein, I just don't think people are talking about this enough. If you've ever used skincare that kind of refines the skin, those tend to be like some of my absolute favorite products. When I find those products that my skin just overall looks even and refined, this emulates that. It's just that lit from within look. Absolutely, absolutely love this. And now that I'm thinking about it, I know I need to pick up another one. Another product that I very much enjoy is the Kosas Aqua Foundation. As far as photograph ready makeup that looks good in person, this is always the product that I go back to because it's almost similar, I would say, to the Reboot foundation, but it has more coverage and is buildable. It's slightly less radiant than the Reboot as well. But yeah, if you're looking for that perfect photograph ready, even refined looking skin that doesn't look heavy in real life, I have always found that this gives me that look. Very expensive, but always one that I go back to. Now, these are a couple of newer base kind of items that I wanted to talk about. So I have this Saie Slip Tint here, as well as the Tower 28 SunnyDays. I wanted to do a quick comparison of these two items for you all. I think both of these are really pretty for different reasons. So if you're someone that wants a bit more coverage, you want more of a natural finish, I would actually recommend the one from Tower 28. great. I have the shade Larchmont as well as the shade Melrose. Larchmont is a better shade match for me, but I was very surprised by the amount of coverage that this gives. It blends really nicely on the skin. It has a very quick kind of skin tint product with a bit of SPF. I think that this one is really great. The shade range is also awesome. Completely mineral sunscreen as well. And it is accepted by the National Eczema Association, which I think is really cool. If you want something with a little bit less coverage, something slightly more dewy, then I would go with the Saie Slip Tint. This one is very sheer. There is a touch of a tint to it. It is 15% zinc oxide. The Tower 28 is 12.6% zinc oxide. I don't think that this one is great for anyone with combo to oily skin. For me, this is great for someone that just wants something very quickly to add to the skin. They're not really planning on putting a lot of makeup on top of it. Because this is quite emollient and dewy, it is still newer to me, but I did want to do that quick comparison for you all, just in case you have been trying to decide between the two. As far as concealers go, I think a lot of you have already seen this coming. So the Kosas Revealer Concealer is a holy grail item for me because it's one of the only concealers out of probably at least 100 that I have tried that gives me just the most beautiful, medium, natural, hydrated coverage under my eyes. So I deal with both dryness and hollowness under my eyes. It's something that I always like to mention because I'm sure some of you can relate to that there are some more high coverage concealers that are dewy, but for some reason they still make the hollowness look exaggerated. If you have a drying concealer and it really exaggerates the hollow, even if the darkness is covered, it doesn't really illuminate the area, and without the illusion, it actually can make the skin under the eyes look worse in my opinion. And this one does an absolutely excellent job of giving me the coverage I need. It also has caffeine, so I find that it depuffs the area really beautifully. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Now let's move on into bronzers. So the first cream bronzer I wanted to recommend are the sticks, the shaping sticks from Makeup by Mario. I have both the shade light and light medium. I like both shades. I like light medium for more sculpting and then light just for a general more bronzed look. As far as cream bronzers go that have a beautiful, elegant formula that is blendable, that wants to adhere to the skin and not just like move around all of your foundation, this is one of the best formulas that I have tried. And I also think that the shades are so smart, because the idea behind them is to kind of shape and bronze at the same time. So I feel like the shades are really tuned into that. And for someone that doesn't really contour necessarily, I really appreciate that. They just look really beautiful. They last really well. There's no shimmer in here. It's more of a natural finish, so it's also not a really thick, creamy, dewy, emollient cream bronzer. Just across the board, every time I use it, I am very, very pleased. I also very much still love the Fenty Cheeks Out cream bronzer in the shade Butta Biscuit. This is a great product if you really enjoy more of a creamy, dewy looking cream bronzer. It's very easy to apply as well. So if you are just starting, this is also a great starting off point. I also wanted to call attention again to one of my favorite cream bronzers that I found this year, which is the Saie Sun Melt. This is the shade Light Bronze. This is really what I was hoping the Soleil Tan de Chanel, this is what I was hoping that product would be. It has a very lightweight souffle whipped kind of texture, but it's still quite thin, and it goes down to a little bit more of that powder finish without being flat. It still looks so natural on the skin. It applies really well over makeup too, so it's not one of those cream bronzers that's going to slip slide all around. It lasts really well, and in general, I just find the look to be so natural. It is very, very pretty, and I think that as far as cream bronzers go, these are the two that I really have been enjoying a lot. So let's talk about some blushes, shall we? Another product from Saie. This is actually a newer favorite for me. It's the Saie Dew Blush, and this is the shade Rosy. It is the blush that I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I'm really wishing that I had tried out this product when it first released because I really really love it. There are so many cream blush options out there now, and for a new release to still give me something that excites me, I think that says a lot. It's a really vibrant, pretty, dewy liquid blush, but it's just enough dewiness. It's not too emollient. It's just that soft, pinched cheek, dewy look. And I also really appreciate the texture as well, because it's still on the thinner side, but it gives me a little bit more emollients that makes it really super blendable. I think the best way to apply this is with a pushing motion. So whether you are stippling in with a brush, bouncing in with a beauty blender, I think that's the best way to go with these. When they sink down into the skin, they just give you that really pretty flushed look. Very similar actually to the Rare Beauty blushes as well. I do like the dewy ones from Rare Beauty, but I prefer the Saie. I like this dewy version more, but I also absolutely adore the matte version from Rare Beauty. The matte blushes are absolutely gorgeous. Love is a shade that I've used for a very long time. I think the main difference is that the ones from Rare Beauty are a little bit more pigmented. So if you have already tried those and you want something a little bit easier to work with in a sense that there's less pigment. Sometimes people want more pigment, so it just depends on your personal preference. For more pigment, I would go with the Rare Beauty, and for less pigment and just more ease of use, I would go with the Saie. I will say though that the Rare Beauty blushes do come in mini sizes. There are a few gift sets. I will leave them linked down below in case you're interested in these. And I love a good gift set because it's a nice way to try out a product like this. And one more blush item. This is such an underrated blush. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's from Makeup by Mario, and it's the Soft Pop Powder Blush. This is the shade Creamy Peach, and I think that that is such an accurate way to describe this product. It looks so creamy on the skin while also being very thin. It's obviously a powder. It just gives your cheeks that really gorgeous plump look while also, again, being a powder. So easy to work with. You can really intensify the pigment. You can go for a little bit more of that sheer kind of just kiss of color. In the summer, when I would wear this, it just always made me feel so good. Like I just felt really pretty every time I wore this. I'm going to continue wearing it into the fall, but I am kind of interested in some of the other shades. It's very similar to the Buxom blushes if you're familiar with the Wanderlust blushes, but I think I like this one even more. It is really, really elegant, beautiful formula, never looks flat, always just gives you that beautiful, vibrant blush look. And before we get into the highlight I want to mention a couple of tools that I use to apply concealer, foundation, and cream products. If there are any brushes that you purchase during the savings event, make them the ones from Rare Beauty. I also have the eyeshadow brush, and I was really bummed I couldn't find it, but I also love the liquid eyeshadow brush, just know that. I picked out the liquid foundation brush recently, and this makes your foundation look so absolutely stunning. I don't think I've been this impressed with a foundation brush, period, end of sentence. I really think that this is the best one I've used. It makes your foundation, your skin tint, whatever, it makes it go so much longer, so you save product with this, but it blends it so gorgeously. You can press it into the skin, you can swipe to just quickly apply and then go back and press it in, and it mimics the fingertips. Both of these brushes actually do, both the concealer and the foundation brush have an angle to them that mimics the fingertips, and I honestly think it's absolutely genius. They are so fluffy and gorgeous and soft. Again, the concealer brush is really the only concealer brush that I have found that I love applying my concealer with as much as a sponge, but this applies it just as beautifully, just as seamlessly and airbrushed. Neither of these pick up dry patches if you have more dry skin. The quality is absolutely gorgeous. Really, I know that brushes aren't something that people get like super excited about, but I think that these are absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous brushes. And for highlight, I always think it's great to go with Charlotte Tilbury. Of course, you could go with the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I absolutely love that as a highlight if you want a little bit more of a soft airbrushed kind of highlight. But if you want something to really add that glow, I would recommend the Hollywood Beauty Light Wand. And this is the shade Spotlight. It's such a gorgeous, creamy champagne highlight. It's one of the best cream highlights that I have tried because it gives you that really pretty, reflective, dewy look, but it also sets down so it doesn't remain super emollient. It's not balmy whatsoever, so it gets along with other cream products really well. It gets along with powder products. Just a really easy cream product. The formula I think is gorgeous. I'm on my second tube and it really is, I think, a standout item from Charlotte Tilbury in general. Let's talk about some cream shadows, of course. So I have two different shadows on my eyes today. Let's first start off with the shadow that's giving me that really pretty wet effect, and that is the Natasha Denona Crema Crystal Top Coat. And I'm actually using the shade Gray Brown today. And this is a shade that I don't talk about as much as I talk about my beloved Peach, which is just one of the best cream topper cream eyeshadows that I've ever used if you love that glossy wet effect on your lids. But I think that Gray Brown is absolutely gorgeous too, especially going into fall and into winter. You can just tap it right on to the lids, and again, it gives you that beautiful scattered wet effect. Very, very thin, but they feel kind of like wet to the touch, and when you apply them, they go on very, very thinly, like it's such a thin product, but they look so reflective. Peach is still one of my most used eye products ever, especially if you just want that very soft, wet sparkle look to your lids for an everyday look. The other product I have on my eyes today is a new find from this year. I think my favorite cream shadow find from this year, maybe. I don't know, I've found a lot, but this is certainly top 3. It is the Supergoop Shimmer shade, and I have another shade as well. I'll throw up swatches, but my favorite shade is still the shade Sunset because it's this gorgeous chocolate brown with this beautiful dimensional golden shift to it, but it's not like a duochrome, really strong cast. It just makes your eyes look perfectly defined. The texture on here, it's almost like a moussey putty, so it has a little bit more of a whipped kind of texture, but it still applies very thinly. There's also SPF 30 in here, which I think is awesome. It is 5% octisalate and 20% zinc oxide. Personally, I've never found this to sting my eyes, and it's been my favorite one and done shadow since the summer when I discovered it. If you want like a very soft, smoky look, adding this just to the lids, blending it out, it looks so undone and sexy, and it's just so easy to work with. I have to thank Khaki as well because she actually had this product at her house when I went over, and I was able to try it, and I was like, picking that up. As far as like my favorite, absolute favorite one and done shadow ever, period, really not even a question, all-time kind of cult classic favorite, it is Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in Oyster Pearl. The most elegant, model off duty, one and done shade. It just gives me everything I want. It has such a gorgeous moussey emollient texture that is so easy to apply, blend out into the crease. And because of this shade, it's almost like a warm taupe, you know, with those little touches of brown, those very slight touches of silver. Applied one and done on the lids, it gives you an absolutely complete look, and it looks so good every single time. And I also really love this one because it reflects back a little bit more of that wet emollient look. Now, it's not like dewy or glossy by any means, but there are certainly some products that reflect back more metallic, and I find that this one reflects back really creamily, and it just gives me that like model off duty kind of shadow look that I am looking for. Stunning. And I won't rant about it anymore just because I know you guys are probably sick of me talking about it. But if you were wondering, I still absolutely love this. I also really love Tom Ford Platinum. I know that they are very similar. I would recommend Tom Ford Platinum if you prefer something with a little bit more of a thin texture. It's very slightly thinner than the Charlotte Tilbury, very slightly more leaning metallic rather than dewy looking. It's going to last a little bit longer. So though I do prefer Oyster Pearl, I think for those of you that want something that's a touch more long wearing with a very similar color, like that one and done ultra perfected kind of look to the lids, I would go with Tom Ford Platinum. That still is an absolute favorite one for me. I also wanted to mention my Pat McGrath palettes that I picked up this year. Actually, I just got into Pat McGrath this year. The first one I picked up was the original Divine Rose palette. Honestly, I did not even understand what I was missing until I purchased this. This palette is the best eyeshadow palette powder-wise that I have ever used. The mattes in here perform like cream mattes. They are so pigmented, but incredibly blendable. Like, that balance in the formula is absolutely insane to me. The topper in here is ultra glossy, wet, sparkly, so textured and beautiful. Just transforms any look. And the metallics go on so ultra smooth. The amount of different looks you can get in here, both more dramatic and perfect for every day, that is what I think makes this palette especially worth it, because you can get so many different looks while it also being really appropriate for every day. The looks that I have gotten from this palette are some of my favorite eye looks that I've ever had, so I could not recommend this palette enough. I do have on my wish list the holiday palette with like all of the different glitter toppers. I guess I can talk about that later, but that is on my mind. But I also picked up the Utopian Dream palette as well. And really it's like the same story, like same beautiful, elegant formula as the Divine Rose, but you do get more toppers in here. You get this ultra gorgeous purple, kind of like lavender duochrome, and then this gorgeous gold. The mattes in here are gorgeously pigmented, again, so easy to work with. I think it just depends on the color story that you want to go with. If you really want to play and do some more colorful looks, I think that this will give you a better variety in that sense. But as for like an everyday kind of palette, this is the one that I'm reaching for more. But both are beautiful, and really I couldn't be happier with them. And lastly, quick mention to a favorite of mine, which is Space Cowboy from the Urban Decay Moon Dust line. It's just such a perfect wet effect. I love incorporating this because it just brings any look to the next level. It just adds that touch of emollients, that little twinkle, that wet look that it just reminds me of like wet diamonds on the eyes. A lot more people are becoming familiar with this product, and I'm so happy about it because I think it's just such a fun product that really goes with any look. Like, just tapping a little bit onto the top of the eye really transforms an entire look, or even just wearing it alone on the eyelids with mascara is so pretty for every day. So yeah, I absolutely love it. And I like this new packaging. I like that it's more flat. Now let's talk about some lip products. I actually have a lot of lip products. Let's first start with what is on my lips. I am in love with this color. I was really hoping that this color would translate how it looked online to how I was imagining it looked, and it did. It is the new Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede Lipstick in the shade Annie. And holy crap, this color is so vibrant and pretty. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous formula. I love it because it's that more blotted lipstick look, not a drying matte. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It actually feels quite weightless, which when I hear people say like it feels weightless on the lips, I usually get a little bit nervous because I start to think, oh no, it's gonna be drying. This does not feel drying on the lips, but I will say that it's quite long wearing. Like, the color really adheres to the lips, which I also think is great. It's not a hydrating lipstick by any means, but if you are looking for a more matte lipstick, I really like to do more matte lipsticks when I'm on camera especially, or even in the winter sometimes when I just want want a more like all matte look, this is definitely one that I would keep on your radar. And also, I think the colors are so on point with this lipstick, with the blush, with the cream bronzers. Oh, and I didn't even mention the powder bronzer from this line, which if you have been wondering about the powder bronzer from Makeup by Mario, I don't know where it is. I don't know. I might have to buy another one, but I absolutely adore that powder bronzer as well. And that's a lot coming from me because I usually do not like powder bronzers because they just look muddy or they can really look choppy and not perfectly smooth on my skin. So again, like I just am so excited by Makeup by Mario recently. Another newer lip product to me is the Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss from Lawless. This is the shade Velvet. A lot of you guys, since I did my best and worst lip plumper video, I kept getting comments about this one, and I am so glad that I tried this because this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous lip plumper. First of all, it doesn't really feel like a lip plumper. There's no uncomfortable tingling. Oh my God, it smells like a straight strawberry daiquiri in like the best way possible. Like it's going to be like a treat every time you put this on, but it really does what it says. It delivers. It fills in every single line of your lips, makes your lips look plump and hydrated, and it just gives you that ultra gorgeous glass water droplet effect to your lips. If you have textured lips like I do, this is going to be your best friend. These also last a really long time as well. They're not like the most thin product. They're definitely more plush. I don't think that they're sticky, but they definitely don't want to come off really readily. And as far as a lip product filling in every line of my lips and giving me the most ultra shiny, wet look kind of gloss, like I think that this is the best that I've tried. However, I also very, very much enjoy the plumper from Fenty, which is the Fenty Heat. Now, when I originally did my best and worst lip plumper video, I had only tried the one shade that they released, which is the Hot Cherry. They since have released a bunch of the shades that I've already formulated. So they have Fussy, Fenty Glow, as well as Hot Chocolate. This formula is so perfectly done within these shades. There's no shimmer, so there's no grittiness. It's just ultra smooth, you know, that touch of that lip plumper feel. But on the lips, it still gives you a very hydrated, plumped up look with just the perfect amount of that jelly kind of translucence. It's not going to be fully pigmented, which I think is a good thing. They don't look milky on the lips. I think that they are absolutely gorgeous. And as far as lip plumpers go, if you are looking for some absolutely elegant shades, I do recommend these. Another lip product that I am absolutely obsessed with, like might be my favorite lip product ever. They are the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kisses. This is a new shade to me. It's the shade Passion Kiss. It's a very gorgeous berry brown shade, and this is a little bit more pigmented. I absolutely love this formula. It is so gorgeously plush on the lips. It's hydrating. It's not sticky. It's not too glossy looking. For me, it's like a liquid lip balm, but back into a stick form. Just is so plush and luxurious. I absolutely love it. Pillow Talk is my favorite shade. I will throw up a swatch and demo of that, and I cannot find it, which makes me quite anxious because I think that's my favorite lip product that I have. So. Another favorite lip product is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Liner. As far as liners go, like this is kind of like the only one I use. It lasts really well. The color is so on point, absolutely a favorite. These NARS lipsticks are also a favorite as well. I have two formulas. I have the matte formula as well as the sheer formula. The sheer formula in the shade Dolce Vita is like the perfect sheer, more thin lipstick with just a touch of a glossiness and still more on the thin side. And then the matte shade in the shade Holiday has been like a go-to rosy pink for me for a long time. I've talked about these for, again, a long time on my channel, but I just wanted to give them another shout out. Let's talk about some lip treatments. So the first product I wanted to mention is from Laneige. It's their lip sleeping mask, their cult favorite, but they now have a ginger snap edition. I believe it's limited edition. It's almost like a caramel ginger snap. Like it does have that warm cinnamon ginger touch, but it's still sweet like a caramel. And a complaint that I sometimes have with the Laneige sleeping mask is obviously this is for nighttime, but I like a lip treatment that I can wear any time of the day. And with the original, it kind of looks a little bit milky on the lips, so I tend to not like that. This has a very soft touch of a tan brown color that I don't really see necessarily on my lips, but it does take away that milky look. So I can wear this now like any time of the day. This is my favorite Laneige lip sleeping mask that I have used thus far because of that tint and because the smell is just divine. I also have a set, I believe, with a full size of the berry, and then you get the limited edition ginger snap and peppermint. I will leave that gift set as well in case you were interested in that. And then a newer product to me, which is the Belief Aqua Bomb Overnight Lip Mask. I also really enjoy this one. I really like Belief. I love their True Cream Moisturizing Balm. This to me is such a great hydrating lip product. So if you're someone that deals with dehydrated lips, you're talking a lot, and you just need a lip treatment that's going to kind of plump and add that hydration back into your lips, this is a really, really good option for overnight. The scent is very, very slightly like herbal, not offensive whatsoever. It's not sweet either. So if you're someone that doesn't like a sweet scent, maybe that's something to look into with this one. And the last lip treatment is the Too Faced Hangover RX Pillow Balm Lip Treatment. So mine is the smell or shade. I guess you could say it's a shade or a smell. It's the Banana Kiss one. And I would say that this is just the lazy version of the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. It's just nice to be able to have a product like this with an applicator that if you don't want to stick your fingers into the product, you just want to quickly apply a nighttime lip treatment. Like sometimes I get lazy and I just want to use something like this. This is the product that I recommend for that. I think the formula is just as good as the Laneige, but it's kind of a trade-off. You know, you get more product with this, but you get the convenience of the applicator with this one. But I will say that the scents that Too Faced has come out with, I love. Like I smelled a bunch of them. There was a mango, there was a watermelon, all of them that I smelled really good. And there's also an unscented version, which I think is great. A lot of different options for lip treatments. It's a good time to get in the habit of taking care of your lips now, especially if you have chronically dry lips like me. All right, now let's talk about a couple of fragrances. So I want to first start off with a new favorite, and I think, oh my gosh, I am so happy that my friend Nelly recommended this one to me. So it is Hypnotic Poison from Dior. So if you're someone that likes something like By the Fireplace from Maison Margiela, which I will talk about in a second, this to me is in the same family. By the Fireplace is a little bit smokier, but this is just the most gorgeous, seductive, sweet, but not overly sweet kind of scent because it still has a touch of spice to it. So for me, what I smell on my skin is like the most sexy root beer float. I know that sounds weird, but I just get like creamy, spicy root beer, but again, not overly sweet. I love it. It never gives me a headache, which is something that I deal with fragrance quite often, and it lasts a long time on my skin. Some people say that they get like a Play-Doh smell, and I guess I can see that, but it's like the best. I believe this is the 1 ounce, and then I ended up picking up another of the 1.7 ounce, I think. I have never bought a re-up on a fragrance before I finished it, so that should tell you how often I'm using this, and I don't even need to really reapply it. And then again, By the Fireplace, I also have a travel as well because I like to travel with this one. I know a lot of people have talked about this fragrance, but I absolutely love it because it's just the sexiest fire burning toasted marshmallow smell. So it's a really perfect balance between that touch of sweet burnt smell, like almost like creme brulee burnt, and that touch of bitterness really cuts through sweetness of this fragrance. It does have that kind of touch of smokiness. It's so seductive, so perfect. Like, Really, when I think about fall, winter, holiday scents, this is the first thing that comes to mind. This one also lasts really long, so when you apply it, it's not going to fade very fast. Getting into some skincare products. So I picked up the Baggage Claim eye masks from Wander Beauty. This is their limited edition 12 pair set, so you do get a good bang for your buck within this set. And I have heard so many good things about these eye masks. Like, everyone that tries them is like, these are the best eye masks I've ever used. The reviews are out of this world good. And a personal recommendation is from my sister who has used these, and she said, Amanda, like, I do not use another eye mask. I spend the hefty price tag on these because they really make that much of a difference. So I'm all about it. I am so excited about these. And you could also buy this, and then because they are individually wrapped, you could just put them into a bunch of stockings for your friends. Another staple product for me are the Peace Out acne patches. So this is a hydrocollotic patch, but it does have vitamin A in here, which I have found this to be more effective on a pimple that has already come to the surface rather than just a classic hydrocollotic patch, because it does treat it as well. So it kind of combines the step of a spot treatment and a hydrocollotic patch into one. Put this on before you go to bed, and I really feel like these work. And also, I will say that they are expensive, but the patches that you get are pretty big. Typically, you don't need an entire patch for a pimple. I just cut them in half and then use half on one pimple, half on another. They will go a long way, and I really do feel like when you have a zit that will not go away, a stubborn zit, having something like this can really make your life easier. And one more skincare duo that I picked up was from Topicals. Their brightening and clearing serum, Faded, and then they also have the Like Butter kind of moisturizer mask. I love this duo together because this is quite a strong active, so including something that's really hydrating and nourishing I think is so smart. Faded has gotten insanely positive reviews, so I really wanted to try it and just see how it works for me. But I'm also so excited about the hydrating mask because I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things to do in the winter is just sit down in a bath, put on a hydrating mask, and just soak. Like, that is like my happy place. Lastly, another product that I know a lot of us have depended on and really enjoy, it is Olaplex. It's the No. 3 Bond Builder. So again, this is not a conditioner kind of product. This really helps repair those bonds in your hair if they are split or damaged. Olaplex also often does really good sets. So I do think that they have a holiday set. If they do, I will leave it linked down below. But that's always a good way to try Olaplex as well. I've been incredibly impressed by the Olaplex products that I've tried. I also really like the Bond Smoother. I think I have it in my hair today. Yeah, I do. It's a very dependable product, and I'm happy to have this in my routine again. Oh crap, and I forgot one product that I wanted to mention again. This was supposed to be in the eyes category. So this is the Sephora Pro 18 brush. You can actually get 30% off all Sephora collection items during the savings event. And this Pro shadow brush, the 18 brush, is my favorite for cream shadows. So I get a lot of questions about that. This one is so pretty because it's this kind of fluffy but dense pencil brush. It's like a larger pencil brush that's uber soft. So it has the perfect density to blend out a cream while also giving you more precision. Like, it can still get right in the inner portion of your eyes very easily. It is so worth the money, and I definitely think I'm going to pick up another one because with the way things are going missing, I'm like, I need to have another one on hand. And truthfully, I use it like almost every time I do my makeup. Okay, now let's talk about my wish list, some of the items that I will probably be picking up. So I already mentioned that I'll probably be picking up another one of these Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Foundations. Probably even more likely, I'll pick up another one of the Reboot because this is the only one that I have. I am a bit interested in picking up that duo, the gift set, the basically buy one, get one gift set from Bobbi Brown. It is such a good deal, and this is definitely a product that I always know I'm going to use. As far as other items go that I have my eye on, I'm really looking at the Olaplex oil, the bonding oil. Have you guys tried that? Please let me know down below if you enjoy it because it looks right up my alley. And a couple of Tom Ford items. Of course, the savings event is a good time to purchase more luxury, expensive makeup. So I was looking at the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Blush Duo. They look so beautiful. I feel like they're probably going to be one of those slightly blurring but luminous blushes. Like the textures look absolutely stunning. They're expensive, but I feel like if you find like a perfect color that you love and gives you that really dimensional, plumped up, pretty sculpted like cheek look, if I can find that, then I will be so happy. I will also probably be taking the opportunity during the savings event to pick up Naked Peach from Tom Ford. It's the cream shadow with the glitter on top. And every time I look at it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it looks absolutely gorgeous. And being that I love cream shadow, I'm honestly surprised at myself that I haven't tried it out yet. So I would really love to try that one. Another eyeshadow product that I would love to try is the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty. I don't know what it is about that palette, but every time I look at it, I'm like, that looks absolutely gorgeous. Like the shades are so dimensional. That palette as a whole, like when I see it being used on the eyes, I'm like, holy crap, that looks absolutely stunning. I really want it. So I'm probably gonna pick it up. Another item that is quite expensive, but I really want the Dyson Airwrap. I really don't like over brushing my hair. I really love the idea of being able to dry my hair without having to brush it and still get that really gorgeous blown out like 90s supermodel look. There was one time that I would purchase it. It would be during the savings event because I don't know if I could bear the price if it was full priced. So I think this might be the time finally, and really I could not be more excited to get my hands on it. It's an investment, but if you do plan on using it almost every day, then it could be worth it. Another item that I am interested in are the Iconic London Dual Cream shadows. I think they look so pretty, but I am someone that's so picky with liquid shadows. It has one end that is a cream stick and then a liquid glitter shadow that you can put on top. I would really love to try that out for you guys. So I think I might pick up one. There's this one shade that looks so gorgeous. It's like this more taupey glitter color, so I might pick that one up. Next, I will probably be picking up one of the Shiseido gift sets with the eyelash curler. So I am a huge fan of the Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curler, but the first luxury eyelash curler I ever tried was the one from Shiseido, and I absolutely loved it. And then I started to just go with my Kevyn Aucoin. So I want to revisit the Shiseido one to see if I like that one as much as the Kevyn Aucoin. There is also the Major Upgrade 24/7 Glide on Pencil set from Urban Decay that I think is such a good bang for your buck. I love the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide on pencils. I love the colors. I'm actually wearing Whiskey on my eyes today, and that shade in particular is gorgeous if you have green eyes. If you tight line with that, it'll give you that like very subtle pop to green eyes. But yeah, that's a really good deal. I'm kind of thinking about that one. But yeah, I know that was a lot. So I will leave all of the products that I mentioned in today's video linked down below for you all if you would like to shop. Thank you again to Sephora for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I know that this is probably going to be a very long video. Like editing Amanda now is probably like many hours in. Girl, you have no idea. I think this is the longest video you've ever done. So stop talking. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.